If you royally F up and screw thousands of people out of their money, how can you in good conscience be like, got a plane to catch, bye? What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren if you're new here, and I've never made a video like this before. I just got done watching Shane Dawson's first video in his 3-part series called Truth About Tanacon, and my mind is like bursting with so many thoughts, questions, accusations, but I'm not sure where to put them, and I'm feeling so many different things right now that I really wanted to make a video about this. I know you normally come to me for pop culture, Taylor Swift, but I just really wanted to sit down with you all and get your opinion on this, and I guess I just have a lot of things to say and a lot of questions. First of all, I am so impressed with Shane Dawson and Tana Mojo right now from what I've seen of episode 1. I hope that that's not a controversial statement for me to say, because I really think that what they're doing is really hard to do. If you're unfamiliar, let me start there. If you're unfamiliar, Tana Mojo is, I guess she's a controversial YouTuber. That's what she's always, that's I guess her brand. She kind of seems like a badass chick to me, but basically, hopefully you're all familiar with VidCon. VidCon is this huge convention where fans go to meet their creators, and there's all these events and panels. That's been happening for a few years now. Tana Mojo is a creator who was wronged by VidCon, and she wanted to create her own convention calling everyone a creator. Everyone's included and it's inclusive, and honestly I was very excited for it. Like, I feel like a lot of other creators were too. It seemed like a really cool opportunity to kind of do something different and something that seems less corporate in a sense. Not that I have anything personally against VidCon at all. I think it's cool when anybody has an opportunity for fans to meet their creators in any sense. That's just a really cool thing, and there's a lot of organization and planning that goes into a meet and greet, and especially with people who have an audience such as these people. There's a lot of planning and organization that goes into that, obviously. I mean, I guess I'll talk about that later in my video, but essentially Tana wanted to throw her own convention, and it was going to be the same weekend as VidCon, and she offered free tickets. There were some VIP tickets, you could pay $65, and it was supposed to be a really cool convention that was about to happen. I was very excited to see what was gonna go down with it all. Obviously, if you've been reading YouTube news, you know that that's not at all what happened. Things were chaotic, things were really, really awful and wrong, and so much so that Tana's getting a lot of hate, Shane's getting a lot of hate, and there's just a lot of unanswered questions going around, and I even have a lot of unanswered questions, but I just wanted to share my reaction with you all, my thoughts on everything. So here it is. Shane Dawson released his first video in this 3-part series on Thursday, June 28th at noon, and I just finished watching it, and honestly, the second I watched the first few shots, I was like, I paused the video and I just took out my notepad, because I was like, I have so many thoughts, like scene by scene, of things that they were talking about, that Shane was talking about, that Shane and these two fans were talking about. So I recorded all of my thoughts and I wanted to share them with you all. I highly recommend you go check out Shane Dawson's video, The Truth About Tanacon, because this is not all one person's fault. This is not... Tana is a 20-year-old creator who wanted to meet her fans and thought that this was the right way to do it, and I mean, we were all rooting for her, and I still am rooting for her. I truly am. It seems like there's been a lot of lies and behind the scenes and shady shit that people are just hiding behind lies, and I'm just... Number one, I'm so impressed with Shane Dawson and this series. I mean, episode 1, I'm just shocked by the quality. I love the flashbacks that he includes. I love that he's not holding back. I know that him and Tana are good friends, and she probably saw this expose, if you will, before he posted it, and it's just really, really well done. Kudos to you, Shane and Tana. So far, you got me. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I'm very excited to see your take on things. Shane Dawson is like killing it in this like interviewer, getting down to the bottom at detective work. Like, I'm very impressed. I'm looking forward to the rest of these videos. Yeah, so that's number 1. I'm just very impressed. The fact that he's friends with Tana, but he's also asking all the right questions. He's not holding back. He's not sugarcoating anything. And I think that takes such huge balls and bravery in order to do that. I feel for Shane through all of this. I feel for Tana through all of this. Let me share my thoughts with you. I haven't seen a lot of those inside the crowd shots of what went down at Tanacon. I mean, you have people that flew thousands of miles. Someone said that they flew from Canada. Someone came from Hawaii, Florida. They spent thousands of dollars to go meet their favorite creators, to not get into the venue, to stand outside for up to 6 to 8 hours with no water, bathroom, food, sunscreen. People got like, I heard 3rd-degree burns of people just waiting out in line because it was so unorganized. But people were like, well, hell, I flew out here for this. I've got a hotel down the street. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm waiting in this line till I get inside for what I paid for. I mean, I would too. If I paid $65 to go meet my favorite creators, I would do whatever it takes. That's just, it's so sad because these are kids that really want to meet these heroes, you know, they look up to these people. And so that's just crazy to me. I didn't see any of those inside shots of the girl on the stretcher. Oh my God, I hope that she's all right. I mean, it's just, I don't know. If you've planned events before, you should have planned for the worst thing to happen and have backup plans and plan B, plan C, plan D in order to prevent what went down this weekend at Anaheim. No one really experienced it like these people did waiting in the line. I mean, my heart goes out to you. Okay, right off the bat, Shane addresses something that I think everyone has been thinking about. When this happened, Tana tweeted out that 15,000 extra people showed up in addition to the 5,000 people who bought tickets. And she said that we weren't expecting 20,000 people to show up. Tana said 20,000 people showed up, so that's what all the news articles said. They said 20,000 people showed up, there were videos. But my friend Adrian and I were sitting there looking at this footage being like, that doesn't seem like 20,000 people. I mean, obviously, I'm only going off of someone's video. This is just one like single line, like queuing all in circles or down the street, but it didn't look like 20,000 people. And for Shane to immediately go, here's a photo of what 20,000 people look like. Here's a photo of Tanacon. I think that someone said to Tana, yeah, I mean, this has been so successful so far, 20,000 people have showed up. And Tana was like, 20,000 people? When you say a number, you point to a photo and you're like, oh, that's 20,000 people, because that is such a big number that you can't really fathom. I mean, like 4,000 kids went to my high school and I still can't even fathom that amount of people in a room. So that to me is like red flag number one. And I love that Shane addressed that. I mean, I agree with Shane. This looks more like 5,000 people, the people who bought those tickets. That's the amount of people that it looks like outside. So I just wonder who that first person was to be like, yep, bird's eye view, that's 20,000 people right there. That was like red flag number one for me, and I'm just glad that he addressed that and that people are talking about it now, and people should be talking about it because I think someone lied to Tana. And then Shane kept saying like, I know a lot of you are saying, Shane, why do you care? You know, it's not your fault, blah, blah, blah. Shane is a really honest human being who cares so much about his fans, and from a lot of the tweets, if you go through a lot of the tweets, yes, people are excited to see Tana and the Gabby show and Miranda sings, but Shane doesn't do a lot of meet and greets anymore. He doesn't go to VidCon, and so it's very rare to see Shane in one of these environments. So if you've been watching him for like 10, 12 years, like a lot of people have, they're like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I will fly to go see Shane. And that to me is why Shane is taking it upon himself, why he feels this guilt that, you know, people sat out in the sun and got burnt for 8 hours, and they still, after all of that torture, they still didn't get to meet him. I would feel horrible too. I totally feel where Shane's coming from. I mean, Shane wants answers, his fans want answers, we all want answers, to be honest with you, and that to me is why Shane is such a good guy. When you put his name on something, people will show up. Obviously, there will be no way to know, oh, more people were here for Tana, more people were here for Bella Thorne, more people were here for Shane. No one's gonna be able to know that, but the YouTube community knows who Shane Dawson is. They know how rare it is for him to make an appearance, and so I get why he wants to get to the bottom of this as much as we all do. I feel like he's really the only one in this power to do that, and I just, kudos to you, dude, for really putting your heart into this and caring. I mean, I really feel for him. There was video footage of people screaming, we want Shane, bring out Shane, and shots of people wearing his merchandise. People have spent money on his shirts and pop sockets. I mean, these are fans that dedicate a portion of their life to Shane and following him. And I mean, I think it really speaks to his character when he said, this isn't Tanacon anymore, this is All of Us Con. When you put all these faces on a docket saying all these people are gonna be here, it does become an everyone con, because people aren't there to just see one person. They're here to see a bunch of people. You come as like a troupe. So I totally get why Shane feels some sense of responsibility. So then he starts to talk about Good Times Live and this random company with this guy, Michael Wiese, who is the CEO of this company, and he's 20 years old, and he's just like this bleached blonde hair guy riding around on a Segway, kind of, in my opinion, having a little bit of a snooty attitude. But again, I don't want to jump to conclusions just yet. The series is not over, people. I think Shane will be posting the next part of the series tomorrow. But parts of me are just kind of curious as to why, you know, Tana knew that it was kind of crazy to put together a convention within a month. I mean, maybe she didn't know, but like, I feel for the like, maybe I can do this all on my own, and I get that, but it sounds like Good Times Live wasn't really the greatest company to partner with, and it sounds like they led her astray and possibly lied to her. I don't know. Like I said, these are just my initial thoughts watching the first series of Shane Dawson's, and it's just crazy to me. I don't know. And then Shane brought two girls who flew from Florida and got inside the convention, sat outside, got burned, and they like experienced the whole thing, and they were upset they didn't meet Shane. He brought them into his house to interview them about this. Something that really struck me, and I mean from like an organization point, these two girls said that when the security started kicking them out, they were like, looked at each other and they were like, is a shooting happening? Is there a shooter here? And it's like so sad that we think that now in large crowds and situations. I mean, I don't blame them, but that is like a thought that was going through their head. And I mean, this is a terrifying thing that she said next. She said that nobody was checking bags. That is the most terrifying thing that I've ever heard of. I mean, 5,000 people, if 5,000 to 20,000, whatever that number is, that many people in one room with no bags being checked, people carrying around duffel bags and backpacks is, oh my God, I get chills. Like I have chills right now thinking about it. That is such a safety hazard. Someone just, I don't even want to put those words out there that someone could have had a weapon of some kind in their bag, but it's true. And he brought up the point about Christina Grimmie being shot at a meet and greet of a small number of around 30, 50 people. Like, oh, it makes every fiber in my being just like tingle. And that's so scary. And from an organization standpoint, that's not her job to make sure that everyone's checking at the door. It's securities, it's the organizations. Who was in charge? I'm like fired up because how can you do that? How can you, man, if they were unorganized about this, what else did they drop the ball on? Clearly a lot, but it just, that's like where my mind goes. And then my mind goes to when they were talking about, do you think all of this was like set up to fail to get his name out there? And that Michael Wiese and Good Times Live doesn't care about Tana Mojo. Like he will step on one YouTuber if that's what it takes to get his name out there. And I mean, I hate saying it, but his name is out there. We know who he is now. I've never heard of his company, but I've been to his website twice now being like, WTF is this guy? Like, I just don't understand. It makes me very upset because when you think about it, like, oh God, is he really like this big con artist? I don't know. I'm not jumping to conclusions. This is just like the train tracks in my mind just like running right now. So if you've got a ticket called Featured Creator and it's $0, it's free. It's free to go in and go attend Tanacon. But then you've got this other ticket option that's $65 and it's supposedly separates you from the free tier and gives you like a little premium tier, right? Like if this was your favorite creators in the world and you would pay that $65, especially if you thought that it would separate you from a lower tier, being like, okay, great, this is much more exclusive. I'm gonna be able to fast track the lines. I will definitely pay $65 to do this. And I mean, that kind of model is devilishly brilliant in a horrible way because it entices people to spend money. It entices a person to be like, well, if I'm gonna go to this and I wanna spend all day there, I'll spend $65 to see these people. And then if there's like a supposed maximum of 5,000 tickets to be sold and you're this 20-year-old Weiss guy and people, the money just coming in and coming in and coming in, would you close sales? I mean, if you're a moral human being with values, yes, you would say tickets are capped at 5,000. That's the maximum that we can do, even though apparently it wasn't, which is crazy. If 5,000 was the maximum that you could sell, like hopefully you'd close your bank account. I mean, how many people ended up buying those $65 tickets? That's terrifying. I mean, I just wonder how much money they made off of these kids. These kids! Oh my God, that's mind-boggling and like upsetting to think about. I mean, I keep saying I'm not jumping to conclusions because there's more to the story, but at this point, who the F is this guy? To run a convention, to barely give out any information, to tweet about it, and then to leave the convention on a plane. You leave Anaheim as soon as this is over and you don't pay talent. You leave Tana in Anaheim and other people without transportation to get back to LA. It's like, it's so messed up. If you mess up, if you really, really drop the ball, you've got to make waves to fix that. I mean, maybe that's just me, but like if you royally F up and screw thousands of people out of their money, how can you in good conscience be like, got a plane to catch, bye? That is what makes me, I guess, so angry, and I'm trying hard to not jump to conclusions because I want to see the rest of the series, but I have jumped to my conclusion, at least for this video. It's really hard for me to not blame him for how he handled the situation. And I mean, Tana maybe could have handled the situation a little bit better, but dude, I would have been scared too. A 20-year-old trying to run this convention with thousands of her fans, the people that she loves the most, screaming at her, calling her a scam artist. Like, I would be very terrified. I don't know what I would say. I don't know what I would say. I don't know if Tana has a publicist in order to help come up with a statement. I mean, it's so sad. It makes me like really sad. And it was also her birthday weekend, so there's just like, her mind is in so many different places. I don't know. If I were Tana, I would be afraid as well. I mean, I don't know if this money went into Tana's pocket, went into Good Times Live pocket. I don't know where this money went. So the way that the first video ended was with Shane getting a text and his mouth drops and he's like, oh my God. And this was right after he sent a text to Michael Wiese. And in my mind, the first thing that I thought was like, did he get a bounce back text being like, this number has been disconnected? Like, because in my mind, I'm like, this guy is a full-blown con artist if that's what it is. But then later on in the teaser shots, it shows Shane actually FaceTiming with Michael Wiese, and I'm so curious to just see what these people have to say, but I'm also kind of mad. I mean, I am mad that Michael Wiese dipped out like that, leaving Tana, leaving all these fans screaming without their money. I mean, they have to fly back. Some families have work to do. Some people have to go to school still. It's just like, for him to dip out like that just really, ooh, rubs me in such a wrong way. So after watching the video, I went to Shane's Twitter to find out what he said the second that the video came out, to see what other people's comments were. And when Shane promoted this video on Twitter, he said, my goal with this series is to show all sides of the story. Everyone is in the wrong for different reasons. Please don't send hate to either Tana or Michael Wiese. Instead, just remember we are all currently trying to find a way to fix things and make it right. Ugh, Shane, you are just, I mean, this is all amazing. And I like that he said everyone is in the wrong, because at a certain point in the beginning, Shane was like, I recklessly put my name on this convention that I knew nothing about. And like, I don't know if that's necessarily Shane's fault, but I get it. I get what he's trying to say. And so that's why I'm trying to like remain hopeful and positive and not push all the blame onto Michael Wiese, even though right now I really want to. I'm open-minded. I want to see the rest of this series. It's just really interesting to me because the way that video 1 ended was in such a cliffhanger and in a way that leaves the viewer hating Michael Wiese. Like the second, if you watch that video and don't have any plans to watch 2 or 3, you're like, oh, it's this guy. He's scammed all these kids out of all this money and it's totally his fault 100%. But I mean, I believe Shane. I want to see what else he has to say and what else these videos are going to tell us. But at the end of video 1, he's definitely been painted as the villain. If anything, Shane, this video is so well done. I mean, the editing, the music, the flashbacks, like even the quick little flashbacks to Tana at Tanacon, to her video, her original Why I'm Not Going to VidCon video. It's just, all of it's so well done. Like, I don't know how big your team is, but kudos. Like, snaps for Shane. This is a very badass edit, and I'm proud. I'm proud, I'm impressed, and I can't wait to see what else they have to say. Also, after this, before I end this video, you know, I went and I did my own research. I started Googling Michael Wiese. I went to his website, and on Michael Wiese's website, he's got links to other, I guess, ventures that he has his hands in. And I clicked on this one website, which is what I'm assuming is a clothing brand called Gloire et Sang. And I was like, okay, so he's got like his hands in like a clothing line, sure. And then I went to Gloire et Sang's Instagram account, and on the first few photos, I noticed something really interesting. It's photos of models like posing in their shirts and stuff. And then I read some of the comments. 4 different people said in the comments that they have ordered something from Gloire et Sang and haven't received their merchandise, haven't received an email respondence back. And in my mind, I'm like, what is going on? Like, is this guy a huge scam? I don't know. Is this guy con artist of the year, or do I have a lot more to learn in these next 2 videos? I don't know, guys. I just don't know. I'm so thankful to Shane and Tana and Shane's team for really going after the truth in this one, because, I mean, it's Thursday. And Tanacon was like almost a full week ago now, and we still don't really have answers, and there's people out there who still have been scammed out of their money, and no one was gonna go out there and give us answers, so here he is, literally going out and digging and finding these answers, which is just awesome. Love that. Thank you for watching this video. I know this is a different kind of video for me. I just really had a lot to say, I feel like. Your thoughts are on this. Are you Tana fans? Are you Shane fans? What do you think of all of this? Comment down below, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. I would love to know if you want me to react to his other 2 videos that he's gonna come out with, because I gladly will. I'm sure that I'm gonna have a lot more thoughts the second video drops and the second the 3rd one drops. So thanks for joining on this journey with me, guys. If this is your first time on my channel, make sure you're subscribed, follow me on social media, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.